how unicorns wind up in straitjackets. And that's inspired from the TEDx talk that I did. Hey, thank you for joining us today on our next episode of How Unicorns Wind Up in Straitjackets. And today I've got one of the most exciting people I know. She's a beauty queen, she's fabulous, and she helps all her clients do the same. We're going to be talking about the journey from um, being an amazing, authentic, unique, talented person, and how that can land people in the wrong jobs for them if they're not doing the right jobs for them. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Kristina Belevich. Over to you, Christina. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Linda. Thank you for having me today. It's really a pleasure to help you out in this and also be a part of something very interesting, which I haven't done before, I guess. So basically, a little bit about myself. I'm Christina. I live in Cyprus and I have studied PR marketing advertising. Over the past few years, I have been working as a model. So I took a lot of parts in TV commercials, also different catwalks. And I also took a part in a short movie, which was really something very interesting in my life. And we actually won an award, like, oh my God. And
Amazing.
during all these years that I live in Cyprus, however, I come from Latvia, I have been very active socially, and I've changed a lot of different job roles. But my main, let's say, studies were communications. So everything that I did, and at this point of my life, I'm ready, and I'm already in this. To do what I love, basically, and which is digital marketing. And that's it.
Amazing. Digital marketing is what you're passionate about and what you've transitioned into, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, can you tell us what you used to do and what how that landed you into digital marketing? What was the career change for you?
Basically, the past almost 4 years, I'm working as a corporate administrator,
Yes.
whereby I learned a lot about CRM systems and at the same time about local Cyprus documents. So on that point, I realized that there's something more interesting in this world than just knowing things really well about all these contracts, which I was always very curious about when I was at university. Business was the lesson called? I think business contracts it was, which
Okay.
made me quite curious about all this, how does business work? So, yeah.
Business contracts. That sounds interesting. It's definitely not my zone of genius. And what made you feel? Why was it important for you to change now? What made you feel like you need to move into something that you enjoy or something that is more aligned to your zone of genius?
Well, honestly, because I've always worked with people and I always knew that after a certain age, I will work for myself. That was my goal at school.
Okay.
And at that point, I realized that I have a lot of free time on the weekend. That the job it is busy, but not so busy.
Right.
And I knew that I studied public relations,
Mm.
so I had to do something. The idea was to create some kind of agency, but I didn't know in what way. So that was it.
Wow. So there was an age goal to it as well. So that created a sense of urgency to it.
Mhm.
That's very impressive. That's actually quite unique. I haven't had too much of that. That a set goal or a set time creates the pressure. But that's very interesting. Um, and how did it feel to you to start in digital marketing and and follow this passion and agency idea that you've always wanted to do?
Well, honestly, it was a whole new world for me. Basically, over the 2020, the COVID horrible time of the year, I've invested a lot of not wasting time on anything apart from really, really focusing on learning everything that I
Mm,
realized the whole world is going to be into
right,
much more.
right.
Um, yeah, this feeling of excitement basically that dragged me there.
Excitement. I love that. Excitement.
Mm.
Ready to take over the world. I like this,
Mhm.
Christina. We're right there with you. So coming back to the three steps that were mentioned in the How Unicorns Wind Up in Straitjackets TED Talk, we sort of know that there's three clues to find out what the right career is for you. And the first clue is looking back in your childhood, what you're complimented on, what your natural path to wealth is, what comes easy to you. So have you identified any of these things that you think are, looking back, these are the clues in my life that makes me perfect for this digital marketing consulting role?
Yes, definitely. I realized that now I'm coming back to my old self and new self, let's say. It's a connection over there. In the past, I used to draw at school. So I was really good in drawing. And this feeling of basically creating something beautiful and new on paper.
Mm,
Um, I used to draw with crayons, yeah.
yes,
Um, and then at some point, I used to also sing at when I was in elementary school.
right.
Um, so, and after that, I've also joined ballet.
Yeah,
So all these things made me become really artistic person until some point of my life where I've completely changed and I became very serious and diplomatic.
right.
And I felt I was boring for my own self. I don't know, it sounds weird, but and realized, so where is that art where that used to be in me when I was in modeling school and on stage? Why was that forgotten? And
Mm,
it's coming back in at work now,
right.
whereby meeting people, you have to consult, you have to make them feel comfortable,
Mm,
you have to be generous, you have to give the best offer you can for the person to stay with you, you know.
yeah.
So
Really love the idea that you mentioned. I think it's super important. And I think you phrased it beautifully because most people don't know how to phrase it. It's coming back to your new old self because
yeah,
something that is innate and it's within you, so you know you have it there. But then for some reason in life, we tend to forget about it or other things take a priority. And then you want to go back to
yeah,
who you truly are. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I really like that. Coming back to my new old self, I really like that. That
Yeah,
so definitely all the clues were there for you.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And so connecting the dots in stage two, you've taken your performing and your art and that visual nature and creativity. And how would you say you apply it into the digital marketing now?
I will explain. Basically, um, regarding the drawing, you
Mm,
do need to be very creative nowadays, I
yeah,
believe, especially online.
yeah.
And that creativity came back. But there was also this other aspect where actually my whole childhood, I thought I was going to be a teacher. I really loved sharing information with children. And I felt always kind of in my mind, not older than them, but perhaps more mature. There you go. So I used to take my toys and put them on my bed and actually teach children. That was my dream. That was around, I'll tell you, 10, 11 years old, basically.
So cute.
Yeah, so my mom's like, okay, definitely this child will be a teacher. And then I remember during all the career at school and university that I would always be so fond of my professors. I always found some qualities that I really respected this teacher for teaching me something. And I was like, okay, so this is how you have to be. This is the role model. So, yeah.
So you've taken your teaching your toys from your childhood and the creativity and all of that you learned through your modeling school and your performing arts and rolled it into one. So you're teaching and helping people online with the
Yeah.
creativity as well. Wow.
Yeah, and I still do teach. I teach English, Greek, and Russian to beginner level.
Yeah,
Perhaps that will be something if I have extra time, a more online thing, but we will see.
that's fantastic. What's the one thing you'd say to somebody who's now considering this career change and perhaps has a few ideas? You know, you've got your teaching, the modeling, and the digital agency. What's the one advice you would give to them now, looking back on you, on your path, you following your path to your true purpose?
I would tell them go for it if they are really on the line of being confident in themselves that they can provide something to not just customers, as we say, but to people. It can be charity, it can be anything. And I would say you deserve to believe in yourself. So there's no boundaries to what you can achieve.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. You deserve to believe in yourself. It's so important, just starting with you. And if you
Yeah.
don't believe in it, who else will? Who else
Exactly.
will? Wow.
Mhm.
Christina, thank you so much for being here. It's just so powerful to hear your story and how much you've achieved already. And on your journey to world domination, I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
If anybody is interested in Christina's work, she does amazing digital marketing for people, and she just doesn't do it for you as well. She consults with you so that there is there is really like an agreement between you and your clients of exactly what's good for them, what they need, and what you could do. So I will put Christina's details here in the video, and do check out her work. She does phenomenal work, especially here in Cyprus. Thank you so much, Christina, for being here.
Don't be a unicorn in a straight jacket.